Hello students, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm back with a new lesson, A Day's Wait. Okay, so which was written by Ernest Hemingway. So I'm going to explain this A Day's Wait lesson in English. He came into the room to shut the windows while we were still in bed. So actually the narrator is Sketch's father. Okay, so Sketch is the protagonist of the story. Okay, so Sketch's father was explaining everything about the story. Okay, so he is explaining everything about the story to the audience, whatever that has already happened in the life of Sketch when he was not feeling well. Okay, so he came into the room to shut the windows while we were still. Actually, the parents of the Sketch were sleeping in the bed. Okay, but Sketch woke up early and he came to the room and he thought of shutting the windows. Okay, because the countries, especially the northward countries, they are too cold. Okay, so those people cannot bear the coldness, so that's why Sketch wanted to shut those windows. He came inside of the room and he shut those doors. I saw he looked ill, but parents can identify and recognize the state of our health. Okay, so the children can be easily noticed by the parents about their health situation, about the state of their health. Okay, he was shivering, his face was white, and his cat was shivering. Okay, so if you get any kind of disease, okay, so if you lack in immunity, then what is going to happen? All the diseases will come and attack your body, no? So this is what happens. So you will be happening to see all kinds of diseases and all kinds of problems in your body because of the lack of immunity. And his face was white. If you are lacking in blood, then your face looks too fair in color because of the lack of the blood inside your body. And he walked slowly as though he take to move. So that Sketch was not able to walk upon the floor even because of the unhealthy situation. Okay, so he got some health issue. That is why that person was not able to walk properly. Okay, and he was behaving like as if it is hurting himself. Okay, so it is hurting for him to walk. Okay, so it is aching, it is getting the pain. Okay, so all the body parts are getting some kind of pain because of the unhealthiness. Okay, and what's the matter, Sketch? I have got a headache. Okay, so now the father started asking, inquiring about the health situation of the Sketch. So at the time the Sketch was telling that, Father, I have got a headache. Okay, so my head is aching. So that is the answer Sketch gave to his father. You better go back to bed. No, I'm all right. Okay, so our father or our mother, our parents usually asked us to take the rest when we are not feeling well, when we are ill. Okay, so when we are sick. So they're gonna say that you have to go and take some rest so that you will be recovered. Okay, so this is the answer we usually get from our parents when we are ill. Even the Sketch father was also telling the same thing to the Sketch, that you go and take some rest so that you will be all right. But Sketch was refusing it. Okay, so Sketch denied it because he doesn't want to take any kind of rest. Because the children like Sketch who are 9 years old, they may not prefer to take rest upon the bed all the time. They wanted to roam here and there, and they wanted to play with their friends. They wanted to enjoy a lot. Okay, they wanted to play with the toys. So this is what the people like Sketch usually prefer to do. You go to bed, I'll see you when I'm dressed. But when I came downstairs, he was dressed. Okay, so the father was telling that, okay, then I'll see you when I am dressed. So actually, the person was sleeping on the bed when Sketch came inside the room. Okay, the Sketch father was sleeping on the bed. So Sketch father was telling that when I complete my dressing, then I'll come and see you. Okay, so that's what the Sketch father told. Okay, when Sketch father came downstairs, okay, so Sketch would have probably sat downstairs. Okay, maybe he would have sat upon a couch or a chair, something. He sat by the fire. Okay, so he sat nearer to the fire because those are all the cold countries, as I told you. He was dressed and sitting by the fire, looking a very sick and miserable boy of 9 years. So he looks very sick. People, especially your parents, really can understand about your health situation, the state of your health, in which state you are, and what really happened to you, and which sickness made you feel like that. They can easily understand everything. In the same way, Sketch's father was also able to identify that Sketch was feeling ill. Okay, so he was not feeling well. He understood that. And also, he is 9 years old. Okay, the father was telling that Sketch is 9 years old. When I put my hand on his forehead, I knew he had a fever. So, usually people wanted to check the temperature of the person who is feeling sick, okay, by placing their hand upon the forehead so that they can sense the temperature of the body. Already the father knew that Sketch got the fever. So he thought of making some kind of idea that how much temperature he got. Okay, so that's why he placed his hand upon the Sketch forehead in order to see the temperature. And you go up to bed. I said you are sick. So now the father is telling that you have to go to the bed. You have to go up to the bed and sleep for some time. That's what Sketch's father told. You are sick. I am alright, he said. Again, Sketch was refusing it and he was telling that I am not willing to go to the bed. That's what he said. When the doctor came, he took the boy's temperature. What is it? I asked him. So, the doctor came because the Sketch father informed about the health condition of the Sketch to the doctor. So, the doctor came to home and he checked the temperature of the Sketch. What is it? I asked. So, when the doctor came, he took boy's temperature. What is it? I asked. So, now, father started asking about the temperature of the Sketch and what really happened to him, because the father was very eager enough to know about the health condition of the Sketch from the doctor. 102. Okay, so the doctor was telling that it is 102 degrees Celsius. Okay. Downstairs, the doctor left 3 different medicines in different color capsules with the instructions for giving them. So these are all the different colored tablets which were given by the doctor. Okay, so which have to be given to the Sketch. Okay, there are 3 different colors. One was to bring down the fever. So the temperature will be going down if you take that capsule. Another a purgative, a medicine that makes your bowels empty. If your bowels empty with no infection, then you can be alright. He might have got some kind of an infection inside his body. So that is why the doctor gave the purgative, so that the infection will be reduced, the infection will be cleared. That is why he gave purgative. The third, to overcome an acid condition. Okay, so he gave some medicine to control the acid condition inside the body of the Sketch. The germs of influenza can only exist in an acid condition. So the influenza, some of the germs which can create influenza in the body of the people, okay, so the germs can be cleared. Okay, so whenever it is in the acid condition, if the body has some acid condition, then only the germs can create this influenza. Okay, so that is why the doctor wanted to clear that acid condition first. He explained, he seemed to know all about influenza and said there was nothing to worry about. And the doctor was giving, okay, so he was giving an assurance that no need to worry for anything. Okay, so everything will be alright. That's what the doctor said to the father. If the fever did not go above 104 degrees, this was a light epidemic of flu. Okay, so, but if the fever exceeds up to 104 degrees, then it will be danger. Okay, so that was the information given by the doctor to the Sketch, and this was a light epidemic of flu. A large number of cases of a particular infectious disease occurring at the same time. So many of the people are getting the same kind of disease. Okay, so these diseases are happening everywhere. So it is some kind of, the infectious disease. Okay, that's what the doctor said. There was no danger if you avoided pneumonia. Okay, so if you can avoid that pneumonia, then nothing will happen. What is pneumonia? Swelling upon liver. Okay. And this was a light epidemic. And back in the room, I wrote the boy's temperature down. So now I wanted to write the temperature of the sketch so that constantly the temperature is going to be down. Then I can write that one also in order to see the difference between sketch temperature in the past and the present. Okay, so that's why I have written down the temperature of the sketch, made a note of the time to give the various capsules, and I also wrote the timings of the capsules. Okay, so whenever the capsules have to be given to the sketch and what are the instructions I must follow. Okay, so at the time of giving the capsules to sketch, do you want me to read to you? So now the father started asking, when the people are not feeling well, then we would think of consoling them by doing some other activities which can be favorable to those people who are being sick. All right, if you want to, said the boy. So then the sketch was telling that, all right, if you wanted to read, read. Otherwise, no problem. Okay. His face was very white and there were dark areas under his eyes. I told you his face looked very pale because he was lacking in blood. And again, I can see the dark areas under his eyes during that moment. He lay still in bed and seemed very detached from what was going on. That means he was not paying any kind of attention to the things which are happening around him because he was not feeling well. So how can we expect that kind of person to pay attention to the things which are happening around him when he was sick? I read aloud from Howard Pyle's book of pirates. Okay, so I started reading the story. Okay, so in a very loud way. Okay, that is Book of Pirates. But I could see he was not following what I was reading. So Sketch was worrying about something. He was not concentrating upon the story which I was reading at that time. How do you feel, Sketch? I asked him.